I was sitting at my desk about a month ago, and I get a call from my daughter. It was a bit shocking. She said, "Dad, how does a credit card work?" I've been in the financial business literally all my life, and here my young adult daughter doesn't know how a credit card works. Okay, some of it's my fault, because sort of I looked after some of those details myself. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have had a conversation with my kids about how credit cards work. And then I thought, well, maybe I should have had conversations with my kids about how mortgages work. Maybe I should be having conversation with my kids about how to set up just the basic structure of budgeting. And I thought, well, not only do I think I should have, I really should. And so I'm suggesting to those watching, time to have conversations with your kids. So we talked about with her the three sort of main important things about credit cards. Number one is, how do they work? Credit cards work really well when you make purchases during the month, and then at the due date, you pay the balances off in full. What doesn't work as well is when you use your credit card to borrow straight cash, because the rates on that are very high. So we sat down with a credit card statement and reviewed that month's credit card transactions. So go through it in detail. How does the credit card work? A couple of other points that I thought were really important in talking about the credit cards is how important it is to pay off that monthly balance, because if you're delinquent in making credit card payments, that can have long-term impact on your credit rating. Another thing about credit cards that is really worth looking into today, and encouraged my daughter to look at different kinds of credit cards, because different credit cards have different points and loyalty systems where you can get stuff for free just from using the card. But many cards have different types of programs, so it's important to find the kind of program that's suited to the way you use your card. Another one, mortgages. This is a great place to dig into the detail. Use an example. Here's a cost of a home. What does it look like with different down payments? How does Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation affect your decision about the amount of down payment? Look at different interest rates. How does different interest rates affect the monthly payment that you're going to have to make to carry the home? Getting into the detail is what I encourage you to do, and use a notepad, write it out, build a spreadsheet, really dig into the weeds on that. Another thing about mortgages is to demonstrate just the power of prepaying your mortgage, just how much more quickly that house or condo gets paid off when you make prepayments. And finally, one of my favorites is to highlight with some real examples just how powerful the tax-free growth of buying a home is over the long term. Your home, your principal residence, grows tax-free, highlighting just what that could mean to your financial future. And importantly, budgeting at a high level, having a solid idea of what your incomes are and what your expenses are. That provides the opportunity to do good planning. And good planning includes when the money comes in, when the income comes in, pay those liabilities off the top. Pay the credit card off the top. Pay those loans that you have outstanding off the top. With any money that happens to be left over, as much as possible, get your money into tax efficient accounts like TFSAs. And then if anything's left over after that, well, maybe you can have a little fun this paycheck. These are important conversations to have with your kids, but there are plenty more. Dollar cost averaging, first home savings account for your children who want to save up money for their first home. How about financial scams? There's a lot of them out there, and it's not just the elderly that are getting ripped off. Younger people are as well, so be aware of financial scams. We're going to talk about some of these topics down the road, but one idea I'd like to leave you with, it's never too late to have these conversations.